My name is Mark Blaze, President Lauer, Superintendent News, members of the board. I'm here tonight with several members of the Vigo County Teachers Association representatives in different buildings. Many of them were in a meeting since 4 o'clock. We got done about 5:30. We decided that we would compose a letter and present it to board members in regards to concerns about the selection process going on in regards to the next superintendent. So we won't go any further tonight, but we certainly appreciate more dialogue in regards to this.
I want to thank you for the work that you have been doing on the process of selecting our next superintendent. As you know, I've been coming 3-4 months now. I've only missed one.
We appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
I am really impressed with the amount of work that you have done in this process, and I want to commend you. And I hope that there is support for whatever decision that you board members make. Thank you.
I also echo Sister Dorothy's sentiment that whatever the selection process was, I believe you all have done a hard job of, and it's not an easy job to do, but I support your selection, whatever it is. So you did a good job. I know you would. I know most of you personally, and I appreciate the hard work you've done. So I do support you for whatever selection you did. Thank you.
I work at a corporation that provides a service that is badly needed throughout the state and throughout the country. And we work very hard to make sure that the individuals who are in need of that service, mental health, is provided that service. I've been a servant to the youth of this community over 40 years. And some of those individuals are adults right now and doing great jobs in our state, in our world. I think in terms of listening to Sister Dorothy indicate about the job that the board has done in trying to bring a superintendent to our corporation, I think she's right. The board of directors has done a great job. But I would be amiss if I did not say that I think in all the things that I've done, when I became the CEO of Hamilton Center, there was a process that I think that we should take a harder look at. And that process is allowing those individuals from 3 categories that I think that is very relevant and important to the decision that we make that may last for over 10, 15, 20 years, who knows. It's a very important decision for our community. And I think that being said, I think that the Teachers Association, I think, should be able to vet the candidates. That's one area. 2, I think the administrators of our corporation should vet the candidates. And 3, I think there should be small groups of community people should vet the candidates. I think in retrospect, I believe that this is an important step, not only for the students, the people, but for your children, your grandchildren. We are barking upon an age decision that is going to affect us throughout. And what I'm saying, I am not casting a stone against anyone. I am just saying what I have done in this here community. I've walked down these roads and these pathways, and I think it is paramount that we sit back and think about what we're getting ready to do as a board, as a community, as a school corporation. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would also like to make some comments, and as I think all of you know, I follow the same, very much same lines as Mr. Burks and what he said, so I won't repeat all that. But what I'd like to comment on is that in the 13 and a half years that I've been back on this board, one thing that we have not seen was the teacher association coming to this board to complain, or to, and I don't really feel it's complaints, I feel it's a suggestion of what they have a strong interest in. And I credit a lot of that to Dr. Tanous in the relationship that he built, along with some of the real board members that have been here alongside of Dr. Tanous all that time, and I think us as well. But I do feel that we need to take note of that this is the first time, I believe, that I've seen, or that we've had this experience in 13 and a half years. So whatever's in the letter, and I think I have a pretty good idea, you know, it's heartfelt, and I'm sure very detailed, and expresses their concerns. We probably, you know, missed a real opportunity to some extent that we didn't. I think we could have had the, in fact, our second round interview section that we were given on April 17th says options for consideration, meet and greet session, site visit to schools in the school district, community tour, and it says check references thoroughly and systematically, and notify employer need to contact employer, and notify candidates, excuse me, and then it also mentions the one site visit. And we've had some discussions on some of that, which I really felt that we did not follow through on as well as I would like to see. That's me speaking. So any comments I make tonight is certainly not against any candidate that we have interviewed or we currently are considering. I do feel like that we shortchanged the process at some point, maybe rushed a little bit, and I do know that, at least it's my understanding, that that an email came in from the Teachers Association around April 24th asking for more involvement or an opportunity to meet with the final candidates, not to make the decision, but to meet with final candidates. And I think there was a response given back on the 25th that indicated that there would be some involvement and others too. And then that did not take place, but then there was an email on the 30th that said that there'd be a follow-up with Mr. Lee at some point in the near future. So I just, again, I appreciate what Sister Dorothy said and what Frank Hill said very much, and this board does deserve a lot of credit for the successes that we've had over the years and the hard work that's been done. And I appreciate your leadership of getting us in that, especially the early part of this. I think we went through pretty well, but I think we've, rushed this a little bit and skipped some steps because we did not actually. I think there was a majority that came to the conclusion before there were any reference checks. We didn't have the candidate or candidates meet Dr. Tanous personally or anybody else in the school district, and I would have liked to have seen that happen. I do think that was in the guidelines that Dr. McDaniel had given us, and we did not have the candidates visit any building. They've not been in any building at any time unless they came as a school function some time ago. So I think there's some things there that maybe we rushed a little bit, but I do want to just again point out that the Teachers Association has not been at these meetings to voice concerns about what we've been doing. Been very, very supportive of what we've done. and I'm sure there's been things I've disagreed with. And again, I appreciate that support we have received over that time and understanding that we aren't perfect either. I'm going to stop there with those comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Paul.